Warm welcome to CrossYoga's YouTube channel. I'm still Ria, living in Denmark and host of this channel. Today I'll guide you through a slow flow class, which will mean that it will be a little bit faster than the slow classes, but not as fast as the traditional flow classes. But I'm sure you're gonna love it. We'll start laying down. So come down on your back. Not in resting pose though. It's so hard to get up if you really rest at the beginning of the class, I think. So I would recommend that you bend your knees and let your knees kind of squeeze in together so they keep each other in balance. And then place your hands on your tummy here. Relax your shoulders. Close your eyes. And prepare yourself for a beautiful class with a simple verse that I'll read a few times. So first, tell your body to relax. And maybe it helps with a deep breathing if you notice how your belly moves with your breath. Relax your face. And as I read this verse, try to think of it as a piece of some really, really good food that you love eating. It could be chocolate or whatever, something you have in your mouth for a little bit of a while to taste the flavor and to enjoy it. So take this small verse in as this. I'll read it pretty slow. It's from John 14, verse 27. Jesus is saying, "Peace I leave you with. My peace I give to you. I do not give as the world gives. Do not let your heart be troubled, and do not be afraid." I read it one more time. Peace I will leave with you. My peace I give to you. I do not give as the world gives. Do not let your heart be troubled, and do not be afraid. And let those words speak to you today. Now hug your knees in, still with your lower lumbar back on your spine, and you can roll a little bit from side to side. And before we get up and do some of the more traditional standing poses, let's just wake up the muscles in the core. So you can leave one knee in, doesn't matter which, and stretch out the other leg. Flex your foot. Now the further this foot goes down, the more you would need to engage your core. So take it a little bit slow today. And then of course we switch. You grab the other knee, create length through the other leg. Make sure that your lower back is still in the mat. And then you switch slowly, hugging your abdomen into the core. All right. Again, both knees in. Now we kind of round it. It's almost like child's pose, just reversed version here. Isn't that true? And then you open up. Maybe just leave your feet maybe to the ceiling or just a little bit to the out of away from your body. Open up your chest here, arms out, and then again hug in. Doesn't have to be huge movements, okay? We're still just waking up a little bit here. And if you want to, you can move your head as well, so you make even a small little ball here, opening up. Now it's harder than it looks, right? And next time you hug your knees, just stay there. Maybe you want to roll forth and back, get a little bit of speed going on until you're able to sit on your mat. Let the soles of the feet meet. Don't go too deep. Lean a little bit forward. You can sway from side to side. Relax your head. You're welcome to round your back for once. Don't stretch right now as such. Just a little bit of gentle movements. Rolling your shoulders up and back. And let's take those arms or hands, fold them and move them away so the palm reaches away from your body. In. Sit tall if you can, and out. In. And out. 2 more times. A little bit of wrist warming here. Awesome. Place your hands behind you, fingers reach towards the toes. We're going to do reverse tabletop. So the sole of the feet on the mats, and you can just sit here if it's too hard, no worries. If you want to lift up, try to lift as high as you can, small micro bend in the elbow. I like actually to keep my head in here, but you can let it hang down if you want. Engage your pelvic floor. Triceps are lots of on fire here. And coming down. Shaking things out. I have a thick Bible. I'm not bragging about it. It's more that it has these words. I'll come into mountain pose. I'll explain a little bit. So it means that I can look up some words in the Bible, because of course the Bible was not written in English or Danish or whatever. It was written in Hebrew and Greek. And I looked up the word heart. What does that mean? Don't let your hearts be troubled. Don't be afraid. And it actually says that the meaning of that word is the seat of thought and emotion. So this was what the term heart means in the Bible, the seat of thought and emotion. So that not only don't feel afraid, it's also something to do with how you think and perceive the world around us. I think that's just pretty interesting, small detail. Reach your arms up towards the sky. Lean back, throw your arms out, open up your chest. Don't go too deep back. Again, straighten your spine, arms up. Small bend in your knees as you fold forward. You might want to stretch your legs a little bit. Fingers don't need to reach the floor. And then sink back into your chair pose again. Going as deep as you want to today. Arms reaching forward. Your pelvis here is tucked under, core a little bit engaged. Let's repeat that. Stand up, high mountain, and then high mountain with a heart opener. Heart, seat of thought and emotions. Palms reach up, high mountain. Let your hands reach in front of you, maybe your palms together, bend in your knees, fold forward. Now stretch your legs, maybe half a lift actually. And then bend your knees again, chair pose. And let's repeat that a few times. Now you can do this slower or with the pace of your breath. I'll do it slower than my breath. Open up. Straighten your spine, hands to the front. Fold forward. Make sure you bend your knees as you lean forward. Half lift, stretching those legs. Bending down in your knees again, chair pose. Shoulders tucked away. Again, reaching up, and maybe you want to exhale here. That's really wonderful. So don't be troubled. Don't be afraid. Palms together, fold forward. Half lift with your legs stretched. Bending down again, chair pose. Now soften your arms, not your legs though, they're holding you. Reach up, one last time through, open up and stay here for a breath or two. Remind your heart, thought and emotions that you will receive peace. And we do not need to be troubled or afraid. Reach your hands up and again fold forward. Maybe like you're taking whatever troubles you, if you have things that troubles you, and lay down in front of the feet of Jesus, as we sometimes say. Half lift, stretch your legs. Sink down, chair pose, reach your hands to the front. And then regular mountain pose. Reaching your hands up towards the sky. I'm just going to turn on my mat here. And then lean to your left side. Stretching your side body. When you lean to the left, it's your right side. Now this arm, watch you reach forward, so lift that arm up. And then move into your high mountain with palms together. Lift your right leg out to the side. A little bit or a lot, you decide. Flex your foot. And then reach your arms out. I call this star pose. Palms reaching to the front. Navel in and you have your shoulders down. One more breath. Hands down by your side. And this right leg that you have, see if you can keep your balance. Hands still by your side. Move that foot back. A warrior 3 version, but with your hands down by your side. Hip is closed. Let your fingers reach down and lower down. Right foot at the back end of the mat. Warrior 1, which means the back foot reaches a little bit out to the side. And bend the front knee. Make sure you have hip width distance in between your feet. When you're ready, you let go of the floor. Reach your arms up and make sure this back hip is not completely moved back. You want to move it forward and stretch the SOS and all these nice things here in our hip. And again, fold forward, lift the back heel off, step back, down dog. The first time today. I won't be doing a lot of down dogs today. If you want to do your vinyasa, you can always go for a plank. Knees or toes, lower down, navel in. Lifting your chest, toenails on the ground maybe. And then into your down dog again. Adjust your stance. 2 cycles of breath. And make sure you bend your knees, spine is straight. Walk your feet to the top of the mat again. Fold forward, stretching the back. Bend your knees, use your core, round up, mountain pose. Opposite side, palms meet on top of the head. Tuck your shoulders down behind you, so you look almost like this top part of the candle that's lit. I like to think of that. And then you lean to your right side. Move your hip to your left side to get this, I think, wonderful stretch on the side. Use your core, lift up again. Palms still together. This time your left leg moves out to the side. Again, however far you want to go. Hug this right hip in. Open up. Palms facing the front. And notice that you can still breathe. Beautiful. And take your hands down by your side. This left leg slowly moves back. We have this version of Warrior 3. If it's too much, just put your toes down behind the front leg. Remember, this is not a competition. We're not trying to be perfect here on the mat. Just trying to move, trying to breathe. I'd recommend you take your fingers down and lower down left leg at the back of the mat. Again, Warrior 1. So the back foot a little bit out to the side. If that hurts, you can always do your runners or high lunge foot where the heel is off the mat. So let's reach up. Sinking down into the front leg, bending this and taking your left hip and moving it slightly more to the front so that your inner thighs, a little bit, the sensation of squeezing your inner thighs together. Coming a little bit lower for one more breath. Frame the foot, back heel off, step back, down dog. If you want to do a vinyasa, one last time. Plank, inhale. Exhale, lower down. Inhale, cobra, up dog. And then your down dog. Only a few more standing postures. Take a big inhale. And side out. Now right knee or foot, you can lift it up and then we have to step it to the top of the mat. A low lunge, so I would like to fold my mats and lower down left knee. Again, we're going to stretch our side body. So move the hip to the front as much as you think is possible and comfortable actually. So just adjust your stance. Knee and ankle though, it's pretty important that that part is aligned. Reach your arms up. Now your left leg is back, so take a hold of your left wrist and stretch to your right side. Not leaning forward, not leaning back. Pull that left wrist. Breathe. This verse, peace I leave you with or with you. Peace I give to you. Do you feel at peace right now? Let go. Just stay with that thought. Do you feel at peace? Move your hip back, stretch the front leg there, toes pointing up. Elongate your spine, lift your chest and move to the top here, leaning forward, using blocks under your hands if you can't reach the floor. The weird thing is the Bible can really provoke. Right now I feel at peace, but there has been times in my life where I did not feel any peace at all. And when I read these kind of verses, like, what? God, that can't be true. You promised to give me peace. I don't have peace. But it brought me to talk to God. It brought me to say, God, I want your peace. You said you want to give me peace. So help me find peace in the middle of whatever I'm experiencing right now. Let go. Tabletop. And just a few free movements. If you want to do your down dog again before you step your left leg to the top of the mat, you can do that, or you can just move that left leg up there. Again, knee on the mat. First, our side stretch. Move your hip to the front. Again, closing your hip, so we don't want this hip joint to be not aligned with the short end of the mat. So try to move this hip, and you can always shorten the distance between your foot and your knee. No worries about that. The longer the distance, the more flexible you probably are on your hip and all of that. All right, arms up. Make sure you don't arch your back too much. Take a hold of your right wrist and pull to your left side. I must say that even though I feel like I have times where I didn't feel peace, there's also been many times where I felt like it's an impossible situation or things didn't work out the way I wanted, but I still had peace. Can't explain, I still had peace. I knew that God was in control. And that's just something I would wish everybody could experience. So it's not free imagination Jesus is talking about here. All right, let go. Around the stretch, moving back. If you want to sit on your heel, that's also an option. Don't hyperextend the front leg. Broaden your shoulders in between your chest here and lean forward. Let go. sit on the mat. We're going to do a seated spinal twist today. It's not often I do that, but let's try that today. So one version would be to extend, that can be your left leg out to the side, and cross the right leg over. Now we want to sit in bones, so if you want to fold your mat or sit on a blanket or pillow, do that to ease any tension in your hip a little bit. So chest towards this leg, elevated up. This is not a twist, it will come now. Left leg up, either hold this leg and twist around, or for the deeper twist outside of the knee. Make sure you don't lean back, so this hand behind you is kind of moving you towards that bended knee. Look back, go to the front, whatever is good for your neck. Let go. And switch legs. Now for sure there's a version where you also bend this knee, so if that's what you prefer, you know you can do it, right? All right, chest in towards this left leg you're holding onto, or on the outer edge of the knee joint. Again, shoulders directly towards the sky so that the spine is tall. Some says that 365 times in the Bible it is mentioned, don't be afraid, or something with not being afraid. 365. One for each day. So maybe there's something important here we need to listen to. Let go. You can let your feet reach the front. This is just to ease up. You can lean forward, just a little bit of free movements. Moving further down on the mat. We're going to do our banana pose. That's what I call it. So you take your hands up over your head, legs down. All right. So you can choose your left side. Figure out where that is. And then move your hands to your left side with your buttocks still on the mat. And then you move your feet also to your left side. So you get in the shape of a beautiful banana. Now to deepen this, make sure you don't lean up, you don't lift one hip off, right? Both hips are down. And maybe you want to take a hold of your, let me see, if you lean to your left, it must be right wrist, again, holding it. And you can also cross your left leg on top of the right to further deepen the stretch on this, I would say IT band on the side of this hip. So whatever is comfortable. Close your eyes and stay here. If you don't feel anything, don't worry. Don't let your heart be troubled. Letting go, back to center. And of course we even things out, so you move yourself to the opposite side. It's like your hands and your feet are drawn to a magnet somewhere, but your hip is not. So that's sometimes what I think about, all right? So you can hold the wrist, you could cross your legs, whatever. Maybe it's different from one side to the other. Relax your shoulders. And in the beginning of the class, I asked you to take this verse like a piece of chocolate or whatever and taste it and all of that. And maybe now it's time to sink it. So I'll read it again. Once as we're stretching here, and one more time later. So take it in. Peace I leave you with. My peace I give to you. I do not give as the world gives. Do not let your hearts be troubled, and do not be afraid. Let's go off the banana stretch. Come down on the mat, and maybe you want to put your hands on your chest today. If this verse is speaking to you, maybe some different areas in your life, and you really want to take it in, maybe on the way your foot comes down, whatever, if we're sinking it. So maybe it becomes a prayer as I read it. A wish, a prayer, whatever you want to call it. So please stay down on your mat in some sort of resting position. So make it a prayer if you don't feel peace. Ask for peace. Peace I leave with you. My peace I give to you. I do not give as the world gives. Do not let your hearts be troubled. And do not be afraid. I'll finish our time together with a short prayer. God, I pray that your peace will come to us and to the world around us. To people that we know long for peace. I pray that you help us not to be troubled and not to be afraid, because you are here and you are in control. Amen. Please stay down on your mat if you like. From my heart to your heart, peace be with you. And thank you for joining me today. And thank you for sharing this video. If there's one or two people that came into your mind, maybe you want to share this video to people that you know that need this today. See you.